All right, so now we're going to talk about property management systems. Um, there's a good little picture of a probably a service terminal, maybe a cashier terminal. I can't really, probably a cashier terminal. I don't know. But anyway, there's a terminal for a POS system. So let's talk about the POS. Those of you who are in restaurants, you deal with POSs a lot. Even if you're back of the house, you benefit from some of the features of a POS in the fact that it's bringing you tickets. Sometimes there's different things that the system can do automatically, so to make your life easier in the back of the house. I worked on a line that the system uh, sent different tickets from the same customer ticket. They sent different tickets to each station. Right, so if the fry guy had nothing on that ticket, he didn't see the ticket. If he had something, he just saw what he had, and it did relate to the table, so you could talk to the other cooks and stuff like that. So even the back of the house uh, um, has benefits for this, is fire warding and things like that. So we'll talk about that. All right. So let's see. So the PO system is the core technology at any revenue center. All right. Revenue centers being places that take money from people. So if you go to the Five and Dime store, they have a POS system. Right. It's tied into the inventory system, but basically it's where you know people ring something out, whether it's through nowadays it's always scanning or whatever, but something gets sold, the system, the POS system, the point of sale system is what controls all that. All right. It captures the data, time and place of transaction. I sold this to this person for this credit card for this amount of money at this time. All right. It also performs a wide variety uh, of functions that pertain to the order, entry, and settlement. The settlement of the order is if I'm going to a store and I buy a pack of gum, the settlement is you give me the money, I give you the gum, go away. If it's a restaurant, you give me the money, or you order it, I produce it, you eat it there, you order more stuff while you're doing, you buy more drinks, you do this and that and the other thing, things gets reconciled at the end. All right. So that's point of sale system. All right. Um, Entry functions display menu type items, meal periods, all kinds of modifiers. Modifiers, for those of you who don't know, you might be on the hotel side, maybe not the food service, but a modifier is hold the pickles, stuff like that. All right. Everybody, all chefs love modifiers. The more the merrier. I am being sarcastic. All right. Define default order display location allowed for detailed order entries. It's time service countdown, items in short supply. Uh, a lot of POSs do that. Have the almost all POSs have the capability of doing this, but whether or not people use it or not, um, it's a little bit more difficult with something that's being produced as it at in real time, like at a restaurant. But if it's a store, it keeps track of inventory and it says, okay, we only got three left. We should only have two left, or whatever. All right. Uh, enable off menu orders. So it should have the flexibility to do things that are off the menu. It does a lot of different things. All right. So let's see. So settlement function, split charges on checks. So settlement function would be, okay, where it's time to pay, right? What was the other function? What did I call it? The order entry function. So we are selecting something, and those all the different functions for that. Now we've ate it, or we're getting ready to take it home, or whatever, and now we have to settle our debt, right? But us being the customer, right? So split charges. Um, I remember when split charges were almost unheard of. You ask somebody to split, they're like, hell no. Nowadays, very, very commonplace. Um, I've noticed in the past few years, it's almost people ask now, is this all one check? And back in the day, it was all in one check. The differing everything up, that was up to you. All right. Let's see. So split checks, transfer checks from one server to another. If the servers change for whatever reason, a different server takes over. All that stuff is taken chart or kept track. Applies service charges, gratuities as appropriate. Manage server tips. That's a big one. You'll also do the tip outs and stuff like that. Record settlement methods while tracking voids, corrections, adjustments, comps, things like that. Provide reports concerning cashier shift balances. You can get a lot of good reports out of a POS, and which speak to the efficiency of the servers, the kitchen. There's a lot of good information in there. Let's see. Okay, let's go. Sales and catering, group sales. You can use the POS for catering. Catering is if you've never done catering, it's banquets and stuff like that. It's its own beast. I love it, but it's a lot different. Right? Creating master records, corporate subsidiaries. So you're keeping track of who's paying who and what's going on. Facilitate contact management. Contact management is huge in catering. Just let me give you an example. Anybody who's ever worked a hotel or a big banquet venue and done a wedding can probably giggle at what I'm going to say. Contact management. You have certain people who can call the shots, customers, who have the say. Okay, if we want to, hey, yeah, okay, we want to increase it to this, but you're going to have to pay for it. This, that, and the other thing, right? What you'll have in the middle of a banquet, in your modern wedding, you might have, back in the day, you had the bride's mother. Now you have 3 or 4 bride's mothers, and it's nothing to laugh at. But it is when you've been on the receiving end of three bride's mothers or 2 bride's mothers and 2 groom's mothers, each coming in and going to the banquet captain and says, no, we don't want that. We want this in the middle of the banquet. All right. So contact management is important. The person that calls the shots is Mrs. So-and-so or Miss So-and-so or Mr. So-and-so. All right. So that's important. It gets dicey. All right. Anyway, so display guest room and function rooms availability. Same thing, except the rooms, instead of just a single room, it's our banquet halls, right? And most hotels have more than one. All right. So create, track group bookings, allow adjustments for contracted rooms based on experience. So you have rooms associated with different events, all that stuff. All right. Let's see. Function rooms. Record the function room size, capacity, and different configurations. We have those removable walls and stuff like that. So it's like, I need a room for 50 people. Well, all I got is a room for 100. I'm sorry, nothing we can do for you. Well, yeah, you can divide the room into the 50 person, and all that stuff needs to be kept track of, right? Functions. What can this room do that the other rooms can't do? Keeps track of all that stuff. Many different things. You can read all this, but keep track of all that stuff. All right, accounting. Okay, the accounting for this is going to be somewhat difficult. So accounts receivable module, accounts payable module, payroll module, financial reports file, and other modules. So your POS is going to keep track of the money that's coming in and the money's owed to us, and then the money that we owe other people. Payroll module can be part of your POS, the money that we have to pay our people. And then reporting files and other modules, inventory, purchasing, budgeting, fixed assets. Inventory is a big one. Purchasing can be purchasing, inventory, and sales are important to kind of be integrated, because when we sell something, it's taken from inventory. When we take something from inventory, that means that at a certain point, we're going to have to buy more. That can all be done automatically. It generally, I don't know of any purchasing agent or a purchaser at a restaurant that would just completely rely on it without double checking. But yeah, so all that stuff's interrelated. All right. And then we have e-commerce stuff. Okay, so I think we're getting out of the POS, but let's just quickly talk about e-commerce. We're talking about internet, e-distribution channels, uh, online reservation systems, social networking, internet marketing, enterprise systems. Enterprise systems are the systems that integrate with, like, if we have if we are a corporation that has 20 locations, the enterprise systems where they're all together. Web-based applications, website development. All right, so those are these can be tied into the POS, but generally these are standalone stuff, or the functions are standalone, but they're all tied in together. All right, so there's more for this chapter. I expect you to read it along your own. There's a lot going on here. Again, as you study the cards, that's going to be what you need for the quiz, the flip, what do they call them? Flashcards. And you do have an assignment, but the assignment is going to be relatively simple. I was going to just take the questions out of the back of each chapter, but some of those are a little goofy, so I'm going to make them a little bit more pliable, or a little bit more easy. All right, so that's everything for this week. Have a good week. Don't get too freaked out over. I have to say that the format of this chapter, the book is a good book, but this chapter is very busy. It goes in many different directions. So don't get too wrapped around the axle. Just understand some of the take little pieces, things that you can relate to, understand it. And then most of this other stuff that you kind of understand or whatever, we'll definitely dig into deeper later on. Okay. So until next time.